Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show, take two. I tried doing the show the last 3 minutes. I've been yammering on like I do, but I never started the show. StreamYard has this little tricky thing where you've got to click go live twice instead of just once, which is sort of dumb. This is episode number 324 of the Immigration Answer Show. I am immigration lawyer Jim Hacking, practicing law throughout the United States with our friends, 8 other immigration lawyers around the country. We're very glad to be here. Very glad to have you here with us. The waiting room is full, and I talked too long about a situation that you can find out about if you go to our TikTok, which is at Immigration Hacking. At Immigration Hacking, I talked about a new trick that USCIS has when it comes to investigating marriages between U.S. citizens or green card holders and non-U.S. citizens. Because I'm starting so late on episode 324, I'm going to go ahead and talk to Alfonso and Beatrice. Hi, guys.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, Jim.
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm Beatrice. I'm from Dominican Republic. I'm sorry about my English. It's not so good, but I'm trying.
It's much better than my Spanish.
It's okay. He's my husband, Alfonso.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Alfonso.
I am from Dominican Republic, and he is from Colombia.
Okay.
And the case is about him. I want to read for explain about the case.
Okay.
My husband was deported from the United States in September 1998. He traveled from Bogota to Miami in November 23rd in 1997 with a tourist visa, taking with him $20,000. That turned out to be confident. He was indicted on the charge writing into the United States conflict obligation, to wit, conflict federal service note in 100 denomination, 18 USC 47, a Class C felony.
Okay.
He was sentenced to 368 days in a prison and 2 years of supervising release.
Okay.
On April 21st in 1998. This is the question. We want to know, it is a possibility if he can apply them for a migration waiver and apply them for a tourist visa.
What would be the basis of the waiver?
What?
What's the reason for the waiver? Why should they let him come into the?
Because he have a felony. He have to give a.
Hold on a second, just real quick.
Okay.
Juli, can you help out a little bit?
Sure.
So the question is, first of all, so they want to get a humanitarian waiver for a tourist visa. These are very difficult to obtain, but you have to have, I know why he needs the waiver, but you have to have a good reason as to why they should give them the waiver. Can you explain that to her?
Okay. Él en sí, lo que es, para poder pedir el waiver, tienes que tener una muy buena razón para solicitarlo. Entonces, la consulta de Jim es si tienen esa muy buena razón para hacerlo.
So like if his mother was here dying and he was coming, that would be.
His mother, he's citizen. His mother, he's citizen. Maybe sometimes she's sick and she want to see him.
Yeah. So, you can try it. I think the chances of it being approved are 0%. 0%.
Yeah, he can.
She's not.
Sí, pero lo que te está indicando, Jim, es que del 0% las posibilidades que sea aprobado este waiver, porque normalmente son requeridos con bases o con fundamentos mucho más fuertes, más allá del ser,
¿Cuáles serían?
en este caso, como indicó Jim, que la mamá esté en un estado de salud muy delicado y o que esté muy grave en sí. No es nada más por un sentimiento que ella lo extrañe.
Ok. Y si este caso, entonces, ¿cuánto tiempo tomaría en dado caso para hacer el proceso?
How long it would take to do the waiver? Anyways, I mentioned to her that the possibilities are 0.
It would take probably 6 to 18 months.
Okay.
Okay.
¿Tienes otra pregunta?
No, okay.
Y puede él tomar el caso, o sea,
She's asking if you can take her case.
No, we don't do visit visas, and I don't take cases that have a 0% chance of approval, and we don't do visit visas.
okay. Y en un hipotético caso de que su mamá decida pedirlo,
¿De tomar el caso es la pregunta?
o sea, de pedirlo como ciudadano, perdón, como residente.
Pero ¿cuál es tu pregunta? Si lo
Si es
puede
posible
pedir
que
o...
su mamá decida hacer los trámites para pedirlo a él como su hijo, como
Sí,
residente.
okay. She wanted to know if his mother can request him to be a green card holder.
She can.
9130.
She can. I don't know if they're going to give him a visa ever, because he came here and broke the law. So they might not ever give it to him, but that's probably a much better chance. And there's a long wait, a much better chance than a visit visa.
Okay.
Okay, perfecto.
I
Okay,
got it.
gracias.
All right.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, guys. Okay.
De
Good
nada.
luck. Thanks for coming
Bye-bye.
on. All right.
A
All
la
right.
orden.
Thanks, Willie. If you haven't already, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know in the comments where you are in the world. We love to hear where people are. Let's go ahead and talk to Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed.
Oh, hey, Jim, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Do you hear me well?
I got you. Yep.
Okay, so I have two questions. I have a pending I-485, I-765, I-131 applications based on an approved EB2 NIW.
Great.
And my first question is, in 2017, I got pulled over for a speeding ticket, and I went to court and pled guilty. And the judge told me to pay the fine. They told me the fine was $185, so I paid $185, and it turns out there was supposed to be $200. And so for the $15, they sent me a letter, but the letter did not arrive at my address because they had my address wrong. It turns out that their system takes only 13 characters, and my address is 15 characters. Okay, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so since I didn't get the letter, I didn't pay the $15, and so they sent it to the DA office. The DA sued me. Of course, I didn't get the lawsuit, and so eventually a judge issued an alias warrant.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so for 2 years, I had no idea until I had an accident in 2020, and the officer told me that there's a warrant. Right. Thankfully, he did not arrest me.
Yeah.
And just told me to take care of it. A week later, I took care of it, of course, and now the warrant has been recalled. Now,
how much did that cost you?
Yeah, so the $15 became $89.
Oh,
it's not a big deal. So the total is like $280. And so my question is, I mentioned in the I-485 that I had a speeding ticket, $280, paid it all, but I did not go into the details. Do you think it's...
I think you're fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, my second question is, I came to the US in 2013 on a master's degree that ended in December 25, 2014. I applied for initial OPT. I got the initial OPT that was supposed to expired in December 25, 2015. Okay, 5 days before that, I applied for an OPT STEM extension that got denied because I had an incomplete credit, one credit that's incomplete. So they denied it in February 22nd, 2016. Okay, and so by then I decided to do a PhD, and I had a new I-20. And so I thought that the best course of action was to leave the country, go back to Egypt. I'm from Egypt, so
Yeah.
Go
that was my guess. My guess was Egypt. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I went back to Egypt, left the country on April 4th, 2016, came back a month before the start of the new PhD program on July 15.
Smart.
My question,
Smart.
Okay. So good. My question is, does it constitute an unlawful presence from December 25 to April 4th, and also from February 22nd to April 4th?
I can't tell you with you just dictating me that stuff. I'd have to look at everything.
Okay.
I can't give advice like that to tell you whether or not that's going to be unlawful presence. I think it's probably all cured by your trip back and forth. But I think you got to be careful how you answer that question at your interview. And I would just tell them what happened and let them decide whether it's unlawful presence.
Okay. Sounds good. That's all. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Mohammed. Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Jock's up next. What do you say, Jock?
Good afternoon. How are you, Jim?
I'm well, thank you. How can I help you?
Jim, thank you very much for your whole thing you're doing. Appreciate it.
Sure.
I'm from South Africa. I currently live in Virginia, me and my wife. I've been in the US for about 5 years now. on an
Wait,
L1.
one of my favorite people in the world is from South Africa and now lives in Virginia, don't you?
Is that me?
No, you're number 2.
Okay, just
Dave
making sure.
Matthews is number 1. Dave Matthews is from
Matthews.
South Africa and now he lives in Charlottesville, which is where my son goes to school. But I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that's all good. So basically, I'm on an L1A visa. I've been on that for the last 5 years now. My wife is on an L1B visa.
Great.
Now, the situation I'm running into is that I'm not 100% confident that my company, the one that sponsored my L1, is either going to extend it or going to go for the next process, which is the change of status to EB1C, I think.
Yep.
Now, I'm not confident that they're going to do it, not because of,
You are or aren't confident?
I am not confident.
I'm not confident.
Because
okay.
they normally drag their feet with these sorts of things.
Till the last minute. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, the problem is that I want to know if there's any other way that I can secure a EB1C without having them do it for me.
No, you would need another employer.
Is that the only way of staying in this country is finding another employer?
Well, I mean, other than applying for the diversity visa every year, which you could have been doing
tried
all
that.
along. Yeah. No, I think you're pretty much stuck with that employer.
Sure. Okay. Then I spoke to an Uber driver last night, and he actually told me that there might be possibility in a asylum case. Do you think I've got merit for that or not?
Who's going to persecute you if you go back to South Africa?
Well, in your video that I watched last night, you mentioned that if you are part of the minority, it might have some stance.
I think that's one that the U.S. government, the question, the U.S. government, you always have to, when you apply for asylum, you always have to make sure that the arguments you're making align with the political outlook of the government in charge. Okay. I don't think that the State Department would be willing to say that white people in South Africa are being persecuted to the degree that asylum would be warranted.
Okay, understood.
I think that'd be a tough case.
Okay. I thought it was worth a shot. So basically, in summary, find a new employer or wait for the current employer to get their job done, or go back home.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for your time, Jim. Appreciate it.
Bye, Jack. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Next up, Mike. What do you say, Mike?
Hey, Jim. I have a few questions concerning the diversity visa lottery. If someone is currently in the U.S., they entered under inspection, but they are out of status. But that person wins the diversity visa lottery. Is it possible for them to adjust their status?
How long have they been out of status?
Let's say approximately 1 year.
Yeah, so that means they can't leave, because if they leave, they're going to have a 10-year bar, and they can't adjust in the United States, because in order to adjust status under the diversity visa, you have to be in status at the time that you adjust, or at least at the time that you apply. So right, I'm guessing I think that's probably not going to work.
Okay, so there's no waivers that would fit in there, like possibly fit.
I think there's probably a waiver that might work, but I don't think they'll give it to you. There's probably a hardship waiver to you argument, but I think that's going to be really tough.
Okay.
Now,
and also sorry, you could go ahead. Sorry.
Are there any U.S. citizen children around or anything?
No.
Yeah. So I think that's tough.
All right. And also I had a question for a friend. So one of my friends out in Ohio got married, and he got his employment authorization 31 days, which was really weird. It was about 31 days after USCIS received his documents.
That's great.
Yeah, so one of my friends was wondering how that's possible when on the USCIS website, the processing times says about 10 months for the National Benefit Center, which is the fastest processing center.
Again, the processing times are all BS. They don't mean anything. You can't read nothing that's on there is accurate. Number two, there are many people watching this show right now who've been waiting 7-8 months, would really like to trade places with your friend. Some people are just getting lucky. There's a certain small subset, I think less than 5%, where you're seeing this really fast turnaround, not only on the work card, but also on the green card. So that's what they're trying to get to, but they're just not able to pull it off yet in most cases.
I see. All right. Well, thank you very much, Jim. That's all
Bye,
I have
Mike.
right
See
now.
you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
I love that guy's accent. I recognize his voice. I think he's been on before. All right, listen. Somebody gave us a 1-star review last night. Do you know why they gave us a 1-star review? One reason and one reason only. Our fees are too high. Our fees are too high. Now, our fees, I believe, are extremely reasonable. We haven't raised our fees enough. We're going to raise our fees a couple times more this year. So I thought that was a pretty unfair review. And that's all that they said. It wasn't somebody who hired us. It wasn't somebody who worked with us. It was somebody who just had this arbitrary feeling that our fees are too high, not having any idea how much it costs to run a immigration law firm. But in any event, if you could do us a favor, I could really use it. I'd like to bury that 1-star review with lots of 5-star reviews. So if you have 2 minutes and could leave us a quick 5-star review on Google, just go to reviewhackinglaw.com. We'd appreciate it. Reviewhackinglaw.com. That would be a big, big help. Let's see what Peggy has to say. Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Jim.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thanks for taking the call from me. So I'm a U.S. citizen, and my fiance is in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And so there are 2 questions that I have for you. One of them has to do around, traditional ceremonies, which we did a traditional ceremony, but in my country, there's like no paperwork that you can show. So it was culturally you're together, and but we can't like go and say, oh, here's a document that shows that we've been engaged or anything like that. So my question was around whether the United States considers that marriage or not, because culturally in my country we don't consider that marriage because there's no legal paperwork that you have that shows that you had a tribal ceremony.
I guess my first question is, do you want it to or do you not want it to?
I don't want it to because I was like, we were actually going to try to get married here. I was going to try to do a fiance visa to bring him here. But then I heard your other video about the time, the 2-year time. And so I was thinking about, okay, well, should I go back down there in the summer? We can do the marriage stuff, get our legal paperwork. But then when it comes to evidence, we wouldn't have any kind of joint anything for evidence to show. If I was to apply right after we got married down there, we would have the marriage certificate if I did that. But then in terms of joint statements here in the United States, I just wasn't sure if we'd be able to.
How did you guys meet?
We actually have known each other since middle school, and we've kept in touch for a long time. And then I went back in 2021, and we spent some time together and decided, we wanted to move forward in our relationship. And in 2022 is when our parents did the traditional ceremony, and which kind of showed our engagement.
And how do you guys communicate now? Do you talk on chat? Do you?
WhatsApp.
And that's texting or video or both?
Both video and texting.
Because that's all evidence that you can submit too.
For the fiance or
for whatever route you go, that would be evidence of the relationship, which is always helpful. And it's one of the things that's important in a case where the couple hasn't really lived together. That's always really good evidence at the beginning.
Okay. And so, but your question around do I want it to, do I not want it to, is that
No, that was just so that I could start the conversation. Okay. So what you're looking at right here is the visa reciprocity schedule. So have you looked at that before?
I saw that, and then he went to City Hall to for us to get that paperwork and they told him they don't do that anymore. They don't give that customary marriage certificate anymore.
Okay. And so that doesn't surprise me, because the way I'm reading this, it seems like sort of a stretch, and at the very least it says you have to file for it within 30 days. And if you didn't do that, then I think you could try this other route, going to the peace court and getting a supplemental court order for marriage certificate. But it sounds like he's already hit some roadblocks with that approach.
Yeah, they told him no, they don't submit that anymore. We told them, well, that's on the website in the US. They're like, we don't do that anymore. So that's why we were like, well, I either go back down there and we actually get the actual marriage certificate, or for a marriage-based visa, or when I get back, or I'm not sure which one would be more robust, but those are, yeah.
How long would it be before, if you were to go back, how long would it be before you went back? Like, are you going to lose a lot of time?
June would be,
So 3 months.
mid-June to July. Yeah, I'm giving myself about 3 to 4 months to be able to go back.
I'm just so down on fiance cases right now. They're way at the bottom of the priority list. And now they've got this new thing we've heard 3 times in the last 2 weeks where people wait for USCIS to approve the fiance case. They send it to the State Department. Then the State Department sits on it for 6 or 8 weeks. Then they send it back to USCIS, which I've never really seen before on a larger scale. I've seen it every once in a while in certain cases, but I'm just really down on fiance cases right now.
Yeah, I saw that in my first video that I watched of you. That's what, yeah, I saw that.
So I think that as far as doing a fiance case, I would probably recommend not doing that. And then as far as doing a marriage-based case off the customary marriage, I think that's a no-go as well. I'm going to advocate for going over and getting married in June and recording it properly.
Yeah, and then just for evidence, just whatever we have, use that.
Well, I mean, you've got 3 months to build evidence. So, like, all of your stuff you do for the wedding that you do, that's all evidence. All your trips over there are evidence.
Okay.
Pictures of the two of you together, statements from you, all your texts back and forth, statements from your parents about the formation of the relationship. All that stuff is evident. You got plenty of evidence, and more importantly, you got plenty of time now to develop more evidence.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. I thought I would have to do tax stuff and that.
Now so that's sort of like round 2. That'll be for later. For now, you're fine. It's just they understand that some people get married after having not known each other very long, but as long as you give them lots of good evidence of time spent together, that there's an explanation as to why it went down the way it went down, it's all good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Peggy. All right. Maestro's next. Hi, Maestro.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Same to you.
I've been watching your program all along and always been trying to get through, but this is the first time. You're doing a great job.
Thanks so much. What can I help you with?
Yes, sir. What I wanted to find out, I've been married from 2018. I filed, me and my wife filed immigration, filed the paperwork. And I think I went on the interview in 2018, but I don't know what issue. I thought that everything was good, and the COVID came in. I didn't get any response, and I think it was last year we went back on a second interview, which was the I-130, and it was successful because the officer said that we have abundance of evidence and he believe everything is okay, and he approved that. And I asked him about the I-485, and he said he's not the one that deal with that. So I'm still waiting from 2018.
That's insane. What field office is this?
That's in I'm from Brooklyn, so I think it's Brooklyn field office.
Oh, we've been hearing some bad things about Brooklyn on this show lately. Okay, so you're telling me that you have a I-130 that's been approved and a 45 that's been pending for 5 years?
5 years.
Jesus. And let me ask you this. What country are you from?
From Jamaica.
And what was your status before you got married to the person that sponsored you?
I was married and divorced.
Okay, so let's back up. So you're sitting in Jamaica, and were you married in Jamaica? That's where you were married the first time?
Yes.
And so you go down to the embassy and you say, hey, I'm going to come back because I've got the spouse in Jamaica. Is that right?
No, I'm actually in the States. I'm not in Jamaica.
No. I'm saying I'm going back in time. So you got a visit visa to come to the United States from Jamaica, right?
Yes, sir.
And when you went to the embassy in Jamaica to ask for the visit visa, they said, are you married or are you single, right?
I don't remember if they did ask me that. I think they did, yeah.
Yeah, and you were married at the time, right?
Yes.
So did you get divorced once you came to America, or
no? Before.
Okay. So after you got the visit visa, did you ever visit America before you got divorced, or did you get divorced between the time you got the visa and the time you left for America?
Well, when I got the visa, I was married at the time, but I did divorce before I came back to the state.
Okay, so you know they don't like that, right? Did you know they don't like that?
Like when you're married before?
They don't like it when people go to the embassy and say, "Give me that visit visa because I'll come back for sure because I've got this wife here in Jamaica." But then after you get the visit visa, then you get divorced. I'm not saying that you did anything wrong. I'm just saying they don't like that. Okay.
Okay.
So then you come to the United States. You're now freshly divorced. You have your visit visa, and you come to New York, and you get 6 months. So did you get married in those first 6 months?
Yes, I did because well, the intention wasn't to get married and stay because I was working on everything, but I took some vacation from my work,
In
and then
Jamaica. In
in
Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah, because
Yeah.
I was a correctional officer over there, so I took
Okay.
off some time and to come to visit. However, I get married with the intention to leave at the time, but my wife was saying that if I could stay, and then after
So
that period,
so when
yeah,
did you when did you enter?
I enter. It would be 2017. I think it was like maybe the 16th of January, I think.
And
2000.
how long after you entered did you get married?
It's about a month after I did.
So that's a big no-no. They don't
Yeah.
like it when you get married at you're supposed to wait at least 60 days. So now we have two problems with your case. Number one, you got the visit visa while you were married, but then you got divorced before you left Jamaica. Number two, you got married a month after you arrived. Now, did they ask you at your interview whether you knew this person you married before you came to America?
Yeah, they ask all of that, and they ask with the time frame, and we explain everything to them.
Well, so that's sort of a trick question, because if you knew the person before you came to the United States, then that makes it more likely that you came here with the intention of getting married and applying for a green card. If you didn't know the person, then it makes it, I mean, if you didn't know the person, then it makes it more likely that you got married really fast and just did it to get a green card. So either way, they're going to beat you up over that. So they don't like it when you get married after a month.
Okay. But
So
I didn't submit
but
within a
now
certain period. So,
we know they
yeah,
believe the marriage, right? They
yeah,
believe the
yes, sir.
marriage. So now I think they're sitting on the case because they don't know whether they want to give you a green card, because they don't know if you were sneaky when you came into the United States or when you got married so fast.
Okay.
So in any event, I think what you need to do, and so at your second interview, did they separate you?
Well, the officer said he should separate us, but based on all the evidence that he have, he just gonna ask us some question and
Oh, that's
approve the
good.
case because we have a lot of evidence to show that the marriage is
But then
legitimate.
he said the 485. He said that's not my department. That's really
Yeah,
funny.
that's what he told me. He said he's not the one that deal with that. So I was
So he
wondering.
so he's one of these officers that doesn't want to tell people bad news. That's what he is. He's one of those officers that doesn't want to tell. So I think that the only way, I mean, you've been waiting 5 years, the only way you're going to get a decision is to sue them. I don't know what they're going to say, and I think if you sue them, they might show up at your house. They might just be waiting for you to get divorced. So I think the only way you're going to get them to do anything is to sue them.
Okay.
And 5 years is a really long time to wait. So I think you're fine there.
Okay.
So if you want our help to sue them, just send us an email or give us a call, and we'd be happy to
And
help.
and what you think is the worst scenario in a situation like this? The worst scenario.
I think that they could say that you made a misrepresentation to get the visit visa. I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying they might say that you did, that you misrepresented yourself coming on a non-immigrant visa, that you really came to marry that lady or to come and marry someone in the United States, and then try to tell you that you need a waiver or deny your green card outright. So I don't know where Maestro went.
Yes,
But
sir. I'm here. I'm here. Same way.
yeah, so I was just saying the worst case scenario is they could say you need a waiver and that you're inadmissible because of some sneakiness in how you entered or how you got married so fast. They could approve it, or they could deny it if they have some kind of evidence that we don't know about that says that you flat out lied to them.
Okay.
But the only way you're going to find that out, I think, is to sue them.
I gotta sue them. Okay, and what's the cost to do that?
Yeah, so the filing fee is $402 and our fee is $4,600. So it's $5,002, and most people pay us $3,002 and then $500 a month for 4 months, or you can pay up front and save $500. So it'd be $4,502 instead of $5,002.
Okay, and one other question also. I had a daughter in Jamaica, which my wife did file so also, and she did get her I-130 approved at the same time when they did approve mine, and they said that they sent it to the NVC. So I don't know the situation with that.
It's just chilling. It can process. Have you paid the fees and done the?
No, they don't reach it. They said that they should they said
Oh, Maestro's out. That he's got some kind of reception problem. All right. Oh, look, it's our friend Adel's back. How did it go? You're on mute. You're on mute, Adel.
Hi, Jim. So
How'd it go?
It was quick process. Like, I had to just wait 10 minutes outside, and my wife felt ill last night, so she couldn't go, and I had to I didn't want to
Postpone it.
move forward, so I went there without my wife, and it was the process was smooth. Like, he asked first question, he asked what is one of the U.S. territory, and I totally blanked out. I'm like, Louisiana? He's like, no, not that. He's like, I was like, oh, okay, Puerto Rico and Guam.
There you go.
The next 5 questions were pretty easy. Who's the president? Which general served in the war before becoming a United States? And I straight out all 5 of them were easy. So I said, he said you got all 6 straight correct. And then he's like, he's like, I don't have your file on my desk, and it was supposed to be come to me, it's already been dispatched, and so I was like, okay. He's like, normally what we do is we renew the interview, but I think you're married, you guys have a son, and I think I can move forward the interview. So he's like, he just asked me a couple of questions if I've been in the military, or if I'm a royal at my country. I'm like, no, all that,
Yeah.
and if we give you firearms to fight for the United States, will you do that? I was like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna approve you, and then I'm just waiting for your file. I don't know what file was he talking about. I guess it's supposed to be a file on his desk, but he hasn't received it yet. So he's like, what you have to do is just wait. In mostly 3 weeks time, you should get a oath ceremony letter. And if you don't, just call. He gave me a letter. I think that letter is called where it has this past civic test.
Yeah.
And then another box was checked was congratulations. I'm gonna be.
Your application's been recommended for approval. That one.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. That's great, Adel. We'll keep us posted. Let us know when your ceremony comes, okay?
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
Bye, buddy. Good job. All right. Karlovey's back. What's up, Karlovey? Hello? Karlovey, are you with us?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah, I'm here.
No, but I'm not here for. I'm just listening. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can't just hang out here and listen. This is where people sit to wait. You gotta listen. You gotta listen on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see what Isaac has to say. Hi, Isaac.
Hey, Jim. So I was admitted in the United States with a green card with E18, and I'm with E18 approved green card for the last 6 months. My question is, whether I can change the employer after 6 months. It's almost 6 months now. So I got the green card on July last year.
Okay.
So is there any problem because I admitted as an engineering manager, and if I move to a design engineer on new position, is there any problem?
Wait, so where are you from?
India.
And somebody applied for an employment-based green card for you?
Yeah, so I came on a L1A, and it converted to green card, and I got the E18 green card.
Got it.
The category is E18. So it's almost 6 months. I got green card last July 2022.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. I've never had one of those cases, so I don't know the answer to your question.
Okay.
I don't want to give you bad advice.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Isaac. See you, buddy.
Bye.
I like that mustache Isaac's got. He looks sharp. All right, let's say hi to Justin. Hi, Justin.
Oh, hey Jim, how you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I just have a quick question. Um, I called you probably like 2 weeks ago pertaining my wife. She did her interview in Jamaica in January, and after the interview, she was told that she would be approved, but they didn't get back her medical as yet. So we've been waiting basically almost a month. So we checked on the app. First, it said refuse, and I know that refuse doesn't mean denial or anything like that.
Right. Right.
And then it changed from refuse to administrative processing, and now today we checked. It says it's ready. So, what do you make of this situation? Because we even reached out to the embassy, emailed them, and they sent me like an email stating that that the case was approved, so just wait for a notification. So I don't know what to make of the whole status change and stuff. So I don't know.
Where which I'm sorry, where's her passport? That's my
Oh, is
question.
it Kingston?
No, but they have her passport?
Yeah. They have a
Yeah,
passport.
you're just chilling. It'll just be a little while. I think you're fine.
Yeah, because I'm just confused with the whole. It was as I said, it went from refuse to administrative processing. Then now it says ready. So it's saying ready meaning yeah, you're ready for an interview or something like that, but you already had the interview.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Don't worry too much about it. I think you're fine. If it says ready, that means the visa's getting ready. I think you're fine.
Okay, all right. That's that's the only question that I want to ask.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
All right, thanks, Jim.
You got it. Omer's here. What do you say, Omer?
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay, I like your hat.
My hat? Thanks.
So I have a question. I've been following your show for a very long time, and you have previously answered a couple of my questions, and really
sure.
helped.
Great.
And my wife and I both became U.S. citizens.
Awesome.
So just one thing I was thinking, I just recently sponsored my dad back home, and I was wondering, what if for some reason that you are not in the country and you have to be abroad for work or whatever, and
with a green card?
Yeah. So what happens to the green card in that case?
So is the person that we're talking about already in the United States, or they're already
No. My dad keeps coming and going. He doesn't live here for too long.
So what I would say is that if he thinks he's going to be outside for more than 6 months, I would apply for what's called a reentry permit. That would let him stay out for more than 2 years. But he has to.
No, you didn't. I don't think I was able to explain my question to you very well.
Okay.
So, for example, the sponsor goes out of the country, and let's say he's in an XYZ country. Let's say he's in, Australia or Dubai or whatever. So, what happens to that application of the I-130 for the alien relative? That's my
question.
Like
so I'm Jim,
right?
And my dad's back in India,
right?
And I file an immigrant visa petition for my dad,
right?
And then I, because of work, have to go live in Dubai.
Right. Yeah, that's my question. Because I tried to look for the answers online. It's very confusing. Nobody knows what they're saying.
Is Jim going to abandon all ties to the United States?
No. Of course
is
not.
Jim going to still pay taxes?
Of course.
Yeah. So it's fine. Where this becomes a problem, Omer, is like if Jim has lived outside the United States for 10 years before applying for dad.
Of course.
Right. Or more, usually more for like a spouse, right? So
right.
Jim's been living in Egypt with Amani for 10 years.
Right.
But and now Jim wants to get a green card for Amani, then Jim needs to come back and reestablish domicile in the United States. But if Jim's been paying his taxes, visiting every now and then, keeping property, keeping his stuff in America, then that whole issue is not going to come up.
When you say every now and then, what does that actually entail?
I don't know, Habibi. It's I can't be too. I can't be
No,
too.
I mean,
I can't be too
it's just
specific.
too vague. I know. But
you must be an engineer or something because you want a very precise answer.
no, I'm just wondering because and what happens to that situation where in this case my dad, and he's not in the US for the 6 months in a year requirement. What happens to him?
Well, that's a whole other thing. So that makes me ask the question, why are we getting dad a green card if he's not going to reside in the United States? Everybody wants to do it. Oh, hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
finish.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Everybody wants to get the green card for mom or dad because it's easy for them to travel into the United States.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's for. It's
I
for
know.
permanent residence.
I know.
So again, if dad gets a green card and doesn't use it very often or is
Right.
gone for a year, then dad's at risk at losing it, and then that makes it
Right.
harder to get again when he really wants it.
Right. That's right. I agree with you. Well, that's it. Thank you very much.
Bye, buddy.
Take care.
See ya. Salem's up next. What's up, Salem?
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm great. Nice to see you back again.
Of course.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming back again.
Yep. Nice to be back again. So I don't know if you remember our case from last time. It was the visa thing, and it was like an F2 visa.
F2 visa? Okay. F2A or F2B?
Yeah, it was just F2, not there.
Oh, F2. Okay.
Yep, F2 spouse, and you helped us. Like we took with your advice, and it got approved finally after a couple of times for getting refused. So appreciate it.
Awesome.
I'm just here.
What changed? What changed? Why did you get
nothing?
approved?
Nothing whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. We just nothing whatsoever. The officer just changed. It's nothing else.
Got it.
It's nothing else.
Okay.
The same answers, the same questions, the same paperwork. Every single thing is the same. So, yep, that's everything. I just wanted to thank you. And say
awesome. Well, great.
Yep.
Thanks. I'm glad it worked out. Is everybody here now?
Yeah, finally. Finally. But there's a question I've seen like a couple of my friends who are students also.
Yeah.
There's some time taking like there are some federal programs like moms and babies and then there's SNAP and stuff like that they're taking, and then they're saying that everyone can take it and it's easy. But then I read that there's something called a public charge or something like that.
Yeah, that's going to screw them up. That's going to screw them up later for if they ever want to apply for a green card, especially if Trump or somebody like Trump comes back into office. They would love to keep poor people from getting a green card.
Yep. So
I'd stay away from that.
On the program, or is it that for all sorts of public assistance?
I would walk around with the mindset that when I applied for my F1 or my F2, I swore to the State Department that I could financially support myself. So I'm not going to go back on my word and get government benefits of any type, no matter whether I'm eligible or not, because I'm worried that this might cause me problems in the future.
Yep. Gotcha. So, all right. Thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate it. And thanks again for your help and everything. Goodbye.
I'm glad it worked out. See you, buddy. Thanks for coming back. Ali's up next. What's up, Ali?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? I can hear you.
I'm not hearing you, Jim. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Why am I not hearing you, though?
I'll come back. What's up, Yusuf?
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm well.
I came before and I had a summary quick situation. I was laid off end of November. I had an appointment in December and I asked you if I should go, and I was still like on severance pay. You told me you're probably not coming back, so I stayed, took your advice. Anyway, I got a new job. I've been here. I started on the 6th of February, and then I have another appointment coming up in March, actually, so it's next week in Toronto. So I've been on my job. I'll be on my job for a month by then. So just checking again, is there anything that's preventing me from going and getting my H1B visa stamp from Toronto this time? I have my job, verification letter, the approved I-797.
Why do you need the stamp?
Because I need to go back to visit my country, which I haven't
Why?
been for like 3.5 years, because my family lives there.
And okay, so what happens if let's say there's a 1% chance of you not being able to come back to the United States because of the period in which you were unemployed? What are you going to do?
I guess I followed all the rules. There is absolutely nothing that I have, like when I was unemployed, I filed again before the 60 days for the H1B, and I got approved even before the 60 days were done.
So that sounds good. So it sounds like you're in good shape, but I'm not going to guarantee that you're going to be able to come back. That's all I'm saying.
There's nothing guaranteed. I guess I'm just checking that there's nothing crazy. Like I guess I'm just following the normal process right now. If for whatever reason someone, I guess, do you hear anything about Toronto specifically being crazy? Like
Yeah.
you told me about Cairo before. Oh, is it?
Yeah, for sure. I know there have been many people to call into this show, Yusuf, who tell me that they are stuck or their spouse is stuck in Canada and that the embassy won't give them jack squat.
So you told me Canada is better than Cairo, and I guess both of them are bad. It seems
Yeah,
like.
no, Cairo is one of the worst.
Okay.
It's the simple act of leaving that causes problems. So I understand wanting to go back to Egypt and visit, but again, I asked the question, which you didn't answer, which is, can you afford, if there's a 5% chance of you not coming back to this great new job that you just got? I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's best, but I'm saying, can you afford? I mean, would you lose the job? What would the employer do?
If they find out that I've been stuck, they're probably gonna let me go, I guess. But
because it's a remote
I
job.
have another appointment in Cairo in May, just in case. But I don't think it's gonna. I mean, if I got denied or something, I guess I don't think it's gonna help me. But I should have all the paperwork. Like in my mind, am I doing something wrong?
Well, it sounds like when you said if they find out, now that suggests that it might be a remote job, and that has its own problems with H-1B. So I don't want to talk about that on camera, but that's something you need to think about. Because if a job can be done remotely, then the embassy starts playing tricks and say, why should we give you a visa to come to the United States to work on an H-1B when you can do it here in Toronto?
Because my employer doesn't allow it, I guess. They are not licensed in other countries. They don't allow. They need me to be in that specific time zone. It's not completely remote. I guess sometimes I will have to go and like be with clients, but
I was just going off the fact that you said if they find out.
Yes, because they don't allow me to work from abroad. So
Okay. Well, this is a decision that James will not make for you. This is a decision that only Yusuf Labib can decide.
Yeah. Okay.
See you, buddy.
Thank you again. Bye.
You got it. Hey, I'm really happy. My Yusuf's coming home today from school, so I'm really excited.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. All right, Yusuf. Thanks, buddy. Let's say hi to Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much. I thought you wouldn't let me in, but
Well, here you are.
Yes, you probably saw my email and you did reply, and thank you so much for this. I'll just try to recall the story as fast as I can.
You're
So I came in 2007 on J1 visa, and then I overstayed for 3 years. And my friend reported me to immigration. I came from Kazakhstan, so she found out my address through my mom, and she reported me here.
You mean your
So
friend
they
from
arrested-
overseas? Your friend from overseas?
Yeah. And
Wow.
because she probably was jealous or something. And no, she asked me for money and I didn't send her. And she
Shakedown.
yeah, by that time we didn't even talk, but my mom thought we were still friends, so she was letting her in to use my computer there. So it doesn't matter. I just want to let other people talk too. So and then we went to the lawyer. They arrested me, but they didn't keep me in jail because the jail was full. And then we went to a lawyer. We hired a good attorney, and I avoided the deportation by marrying my boyfriend. Because when they came,
Oh, wait, hold on. You didn't avoid your deportation by getting married to your boyfriend. You loved your boyfriend. You really wanted to be together for the rest of your lives. So you got married, and because he was a U.S. citizen, you were able to stop your.
No. He wasn't. So we were together when they arrested us, but we weren't married. So he wasn't a citizen, and he was a green card holder. So the lawyers told us to do, if you want to avoid that, you guys have to get married and then wait for him to become citizen, and then I will be telling the judge that basically we're gonna extend until the next hearing. And so once he got his citizenship, the judge granted green card. And because we were in the marriage it was in 2013, and because we were in the marriage for more than 2 years, I got 10-year green card.
Got it.
And that's the thing. But the marriage didn't work out, and it didn't work out in a really bad way, because in 2016, my husband filed for divorce without telling me. And we still lived together for 4 years, and I didn't know about it. We were visiting my parents and all that. And then finally in 2019, when he told me about it, I tried to vacate the divorce judgments through divorce attorney now, and
Wait,
it
he
didn't
got
work out.
you mean he actually got divorced from you without you knowing about it?
Yes, by forging my signature. Yeah, I couldn't prove it because he also used my phone to text himself as if I knew about divorce. So
Wow.
because he became
He's a dirty bastard.
he became very successful in his plumbing business. He bought a few buildings. I'm from Chicago. He bought it in Chicago, like for rental. He was afraid that I would take his rental properties in case I knew about divorce, So I couldn't prove it, and the judge suggested you guys have to settle and not agree not to sue each other anymore, because if whoever is lying, because those text messages made me like I was lying, will face criminal charges.
Okay,
so we settled.
So then what?
Yeah, sorry for
That's okay.
interrupting.
What's the immigration angle?
So the immigration thing is, I still hold my green card, but permanent green card, but it's gonna expire in 2025. So I want to apply for citizenship. And the funny thing, I could apply in 2016 based on 3-year residency, but my ex said no, I'm not gonna do it. And it wasn't because he was mad at me. Now I know that because if I got more concerned, I went to divorce to any lawyer, we might have found out that he already divorced. So it's not because he was mad at me, because he couldn't. So in 2018, I went to school, to like software development school, and it wasn't like a credit university. I went to university from 2011 2014, and then I quit. And then now I work, and now like nothing crazy happens in my life. And my question to you, if I apply for citizenship, will they first think that my marriage was bad, and second, will these arrest for overstaying visa show bad moral character? And I'm really scared to apply now because I've been watching a lot of your videos and I don't know what to think. Like, can they still go back on the judge's decision and like say, oh, in our opinion, because you got married right after you were arrested, that wasn't real marriage, even though it was, because we lived together, we lived for 10 years together, So that's I'll stop.
You're fine. So, couple of things. One is that before you file for citizenship, you should request your entire immigration file from immigration.
Yeah.
The next thing is, I would want to know, and you don't have to talk about this on camera, I would want to know if we think your ex-husband would say bad things about you to immigration. Like, we already have some problems in the case because USCIS already got a letter from somebody back in Kazakhstan saying that you're bad and should be deported, right? And so, you got your green card from an immigration judge, which USCIS never liked. So I understand why you're scared.
They never like it, you said?
No, they don't. USCIS doesn't like it when you get the green card from the judge because they feel like they've never had a chance to interview you
But we did go to interview with the immigration officer and my husband in that time.
For the I-130?
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
went. So they both approved, they and the judge.
Yeah, I'm just saying they don't like it when you get the green card from the judge. I'm just telling you that.
Oh, wow.
That's just something that's true. But that's the least of your problems. This is a crazy story. I don't know if they're going to believe the stuff about the divorce. I think I believe you.
I don't want to say it. I just want to say, because I don't want them to make it any longer or dig deeper, because it makes me look like I'm lying. I'm trying to say something bad about him to make myself look good.
Yeah.
But
Here's
the
what
thing
I'll
is,
say.
I didn't file for divorce. He did. I never wanted to divorce. See, that's the thing. So.
Well, and he divorced without you knowing. So here's what I'll say. This is a tough case. And I think that it's too early to tell whether it's safe for you to apply for citizenship. I think you're smart to be worried. I don't think you have to be overly worried, but I think there has to be some real analysis as to what the risks are. And then you have to decide what you want to do. In answer to your question about whether or not they can go back and try to undo what the judge did, the answer to that question is technically no, they can't, but they do it all the time by putting someone in removal proceedings. So they could try to undo everything that you already have, and that's a decision you're going to have to make. But don't make it now just based on talking to an immigration lawyer on YouTube. Make it after talking to a lawyer who's reviewed everything in your file, and then you decide with that lawyer what your best option is.
So you're saying they can still say that no, your marriage was bad, and we don't believe you, and we're gonna place you in removal proceedings, right?
Yeah, it's not so much about good moral character or not, whether that's going to count, because this is all years ago. The question
Mhm.
is whether or not they think if they could. So let's say that because I think this is true. Let's say that every file that comes across their desk, they look at it and they say, do we want to approve this case? And for the most cases, they say, yeah, this is sort of an easy case to approve. But then the ones that aren't easy to approve, then they say to themselves, not only could we approve this, but also could we screw this person? I think that actually happens. I think there's actually people in USCIS who say, how do we unravel what she already has? So I think your question is right on about whether or not you're going to put your green card at risk by applying for citizenship. I'm not saying for sure. I'm just saying right now I'm a little bit worried for you.
But can I at least try to extend my green card with them?
That would probably be much easier.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because in I-90, they don't, in my experience.
But do you really think that?
Hold on.
Sorry.
In my experience, they're much easier about renewing a green card than the extra scrutiny. Because, one thing a quote that I heard a long time ago that I really like and I use a lot is, when you apply for citizenship, that's their last chance to deport you. Like once they give you your citizenship, they could try to undo that, but that's really, really hard. So that's something you need to keep in mind.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, I heard cases when they start if they think that the marriage wasn't real, they start deporting. Or, but there are also cases where they don't give you citizenship, but they let you keep green cards.
That's true. That's true.
Could
That
that
happens
be as well?
That
Could
could happen.
But
But
I don't have any.
if we think that's going to happen, then we don't even apply.
But why would they start to kicking me out? Because I don't have any criminal record here. I have all my taxes in order, and I have a good job. I work for good company. So like, it's just because if their opinion based on their marriage, that's it. But that's not. Is it like even legal ground? Opinion is not like a legal ground,
Yeah, but they do stuff on what you're calling opinion all the time. And really the question then is, again, do I think your husband said bad things about you to immigration? That's one thing I'm worried about. If he's sneaky enough,
Yeah.
if he's sneaky enough to divorce you without you knowing, then who knows what else he's up to.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
Rebecca, well, I'm going to move on. I got time for one more caller.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Jim. Yeah.
You got it.
Mhm.
Okay. I just saw Juan. Juan, was that a trumpet you had there? Nice. You're on mute. Can you play us a song at the end after we answer the question? Can you play us a little when we're done, you can close out the show. You can close out the show. Go ahead.
So I just came back from my biometrics appointment here in California, Salinas area, and I'm thinking about my interview that's going to be coming up, and I'm wondering, I think the office is going to be San Jose, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are.
I like San Jose. I've been there a few times. Got in a little fight there one time, but generally it's a good office. They're efficient, they're smart. It's a pretty office. It's got glass all around in the waiting room. I really like it there. I think you'll be fine. What kind of case is it?
Marriage case, N400. I'm applying for my N400 under the 3-year rule.
Awesome. Everything's cool with the marriage?
Yes, everything's good. We've been our high school sweethearts, so we've been together for a really long time.
Did you have any problems getting your green card?
It was right at the cusp of COVID, so we were in CJ, and I had my interview on, I think, February 26th, if I remember correctly, or something like that.
Yeah.
And the office closed, and I didn't get my green card until like late March or something like that. And
yeah,
even then, I considered myself one of the lucky ones.
That's pretty good. Yeah, especially for CJ.
Yeah.
I think you're in good shape, Juan. All right, you want to play us a quick song?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is our first musical. We haven't had music on here before. We need it more often.
Sorry, my dog is in the back.
That's all right. That's all right. Keep going. It's great. How about that? How about that? That was great, Juan. Thanks. What song was that? When You Wish Upon a Star?
Exactly. Yes.
Nice. I got it. Well, you're not too far from Disney, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Juan.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, buddy. Good luck with citizenship. Let us know how it goes, okay?
I sure will. Thank
you. Never know what's going to happen on the old Immigration Answer show. And we must say, it's much nicer ending the show with Juan playing When You Wish Upon a Star than Jim yelling at Shabazz. Don't we all agree about that? Isn't that a much nicer ending? And the dog barking was extra, extra. So we'll be back. Oh, Vino's here. I was going to try to get to Vino. He was here the other day and I didn't get to him. We'll be back on Monday. Maybe Juan will come back after he gets his citizenship and play us a song with his dog. And we will see you guys on Monday at 4 o'clock. Remember, next week, I'm traveling on the back end of the week. So the shows will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 4 p.m. Huli, have a great weekend. Everybody else, thanks for coming. I know we had a lot of people watching, a lot of good questions today. And it was a lot of fun with the horns. We'll see you guys